throughout America in everyone's household as Ruby Dee, an actress, very talented person and a writer, but you're also privately Mrs. Ossie Davis, the mother of grown children, and married to a man who is professional. Marriage today, for so many people, is such a problem without having those other kinds of factors involved. How have you, looking back on it, how have you managed that?
Well, Tony, there has been a lot of luck and adjustment, and I still think marriage is a problem. But I think if one can call it, we've lived together a long time. We've been married over 25 years. It's been because the pluses outweigh the minuses on the ledger, you know. Mm-hmm. The assets and the liabilities, the percentage of assets is greater than those of liabilities. And throughout the course of the years, we turned some liabilities into assets. So, yes. Not that we're not faced with all the difficulties that every marriage goes through at some level, to some degree, because we are each other, you know. What
is your view on black men generally in terms of their uniqueness in relationships with women, black women in particular?
I think black men in America, and I speak as an authority on absolutely nothing, but as an actor, you know, you observe a lot, and but the black man in America has been stomped on by both feet, you know, legally and culturally, politically, socially. There's been such an effort to undermine it. We may be coming away from that now, but I believe that the black man is unique in this country because so much effort has been spent on keeping him down. It's like, you know, the largest army in the world one of the largest is in South Africa, where there is no war. So the black man has had a great a great deal to overcome in terms of finding himself, always looking at himself from two perspectives, you know, as Du Bois has said, as a human being and as a black person in a white context. We black women have the same thing, but I think it's the trampling has been much harder on the black man.
If I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying that the black man, because of he's been at the very apex of racism and oppression, mm-hmm. on the bottom end.
Yes.
That there have been built into him psychologically, perhaps, certain immaturities and sensitivities or shortcomings in that respect. Is that what I hear you saying?
Certain insecurities, I would call it, that he has to overcome. Most human beings don't have to spend half their lives just accepting themselves as human beings. That's a given. I am. But to have to look at one's skin color and one's hair and one's relationship to power, always on tenterhooks, always treading on hot coals, and seeing occasionally being given a glimpse of what it must be like just to live as a human being in a world that belongs to us all. The things that groups in power can take for granted, so many black men have to spend most of their lives just consciously coming to. I am somebody.